temperature's 100 degrees plus. And he's writing away in that cell with one window that the only way he could see out was to jump up and grab the windowsill and pull himself up to see the desert that he used to once roam freely in. John knew it was coming. He knew that he was about to lose his head. And he did soon after this. And in the midst of that, he began to have his doubts. Had he presented the right one? Had he been preaching the right thing? Had God let him down because nothing seemed to be going according to John's plan? Jesus came proclaiming the favorable year of the Lord, yet John was in unfavorable circumstances. Anyone here this morning that's had things happen this past year that didn't fit your perception of God, His love, His faithfulness, or what you thought were His plans for your life? I like deep words, don't you? I like words that are there where I live, that expose what's really in my heart and in my mind, what I'm really thinking. And as I said when I opened up the service this morning, I know for some folks 2014 was probably a really great year for you, and you need to rejoice and thank God. And I rejoice and thank God with you for His goodness to you in 2014. But I pastor a church body where I know a lot of my folks, and I know a lot of my folks have had a very difficult year in 2014. Plans didn't work out like you thought they were going to. Oh, come on now. What you expected God to do in the past year, He didn't do. Some marriages failed. Others are strained at the breaking point. Tragedy hit your family. Finances were scarce. Health declined. And in fact, it appears your obedience to God cost you instead of blessing you. Preach on, preacher. See, the truth of the matter is this. You're probably asking yourself privately. You may not be speaking it, and I hope you're not. And if you are speaking it, you're only speaking it to those closest to you. But deep inside, you're privately thinking or asking yourself, am I in the right faith? Am I serving the right God? Is this Jesus for real or not? Or am I just another religious fruitcake or flake, like the world says, that is believing in a fantasy? John the Baptist was human just like you and I. And after all John had done and seen, after everything John had done and seen, He still sent His disciples to ask the question. If John the Baptist in his suffering had pain, had some doubts, and he was the greatest man born of woman up to that point, you and I may have to deal with some doubts as well from time to time. Why did John question? Why did John the Baptist, why did the leading evangelist of his day until Jesus come along, why did he suddenly have doubts? Because of the same reasons you and I have them. He was flesh and blood just like me and you. Because things weren't working out as he perceived that they should. You see, we all have a perception about how we believe things should work out. The problem is our perception is not always God's plan. As a matter of fact, a commentator that I read, he said God is under no obligation to operate according to our perception. None whatsoever. So John had some preconceived notions that weren't working out. And even as great as a man as John the Baptist was, he had his own misconceptions about God. He perceived things should work out this way, and he conceived that this is how they should be worked out. And yet neither happened the way he perceived or conceived the outcome. You see, probably John was like the rest of the people of that day. He was still under the influence of thought that when Messiah comes, he will come as another warring king like King David. And when he comes, he'll raise up a mighty army. He'll gather the troops. He'll ride against Rome, and he'll first deliver Israel from Rome, and he'll deliver the people of God from that religious system that had them by the throat and kept them from relationship from the Lord God Himself, and that He would come up and establish His earthly kingdom at that moment, at that time. And John's in a prison cell. And he hasn't heard about Jesus getting on the white horse yet and gathering his army and preparing to march against Rome. What has not gone your way this past year? And you're wondering, Jesus, are you real? Do you care? Do you love me? Am I in the right faith? Am I obedient to you? Have you forgotten me here in my suffering and my pain? You see, unrealized hopes are fertile ground for doubt to breed unbelief. And if the enemy can get you focused and get you to stay focused on that which isn't working out according to the way in which you perceive it should, if he can get you focused on situations and circumstances that don't fit your concept of God and the way in which He works, then he can breed doubt into your heart. And if he can breed doubt into your heart, then faith goes out the window. And when faith goes out the window, there is no reward for God, because he who believes in God must diligently seek Him, for He is a rewarder of those who seek Him by faith. Now, Jesus' response to John is filled with love and compassion and mercy. And again, it's very personal. Let me read it to you again. It's verse 4 and 5 in Matthew 11. And Jesus answered and said to them, "Go and tell John. Go tell my sweet cousin. Go tell that man of God what you hear and see. The blind receive sight, the lame walk, lepers are cleansed, the deaf hear, and the dead are raised, and the poor have good news announced to them." In other words, John, you've done well. You have done well. You have fulfilled your purpose. You released me into ministry. Now, that's hard for some people to get their head around. Excuse me. But Jesus, even though He was God in the flesh, had to be released into ministry by another recognized ministry. Shoot, even after He got started, even after John did it, Jesus wasn't doing any miracles until Mama made Him. No, he was at a wedding and they ran out of wine, and Jesus wasn't doing nothing about it till Mama stepped in. You know how it is when Mama steps in. Yeah, you know when Mama steps in. And gave Him opportunity to do the first miracle that we have recorded that He did in Scriptures. John, you're the one who first confessed me as the Messiah. John, you're the one who baptized me so that we could fulfill righteousness. John, you're the one who saw the dove descend. John, you're the one who heard the voice along with the others. John, you've been given a greater position than any man up until this point in time. And now everything, you got to hear this. Now everything you see and hear that I'm doing because you release me into it. If you can receive it, the old covenant released the ministry into the new covenant. It's powerful. I told you this theologically, it's just... What time is it? Oh, Jesus, we're good. So, he was basically sent word back to John. John, your prayer was, I must decrease and you must increase. Your prayer's being answered. What's the problem, cuz? Now, I hope you can follow me in this, because this is the part that I couldn't put in words here, but this is a revelation I need you to get a hold of. God has been working on you because you have been praying that prayer, Lord, make me more like Jesus. Lord, make me more like Jesus. I don't want to be mean. I don't want to be full of religion. I don't want to be full of law. I want to be full of love and grace and mercy. God, I don't want to be sinful. I want to be Christ-like. I don't want to sin at all, but I certainly want to sin less and less. So all God's doing, and all God's done this past year, is answer our prayer. Taking that stuff out of us that needs to be taken away. Taking the things of the flesh out of the way so the things of the Spirit can come in and have victory. Jesus basically said this. He said, recognize the good I have done all around you because of you. You've released me into all this. Just because your personal situation may not have been good this year, you will have to acknowledge that God has been good around you to others. As a matter of fact, that's part of your problem. You have seen God bless others around you, even used you to bless them. But you are still stuck in your prison cell of whatever it is and asking God, why me? Why me? Let me punch this up. Could it be that our suffering and steadfast faith in the midst of it all has been a catalyst for others to believe and receive their own miracles? See, I believe that. You see, John never publicly wavered. He never publicly wavered in who Jesus was. He never sent a message out from his prison cell that said, y'all better be careful, I'm not sure about that Jesus. You've heard people do it. What? Be careful of them Christians. They all ain't Christians. Well, that part's probably true, but watch out for them Christians. All they want your money. All they want to do is control us. And they cast a shadow on who Jesus is in us and to us. John never did that. He sent his trusted disciples to simply ask the question, are you the one, or do I look for another? And you and I will do that at times in the midst of our suffering and our pain. No, you ain't going to go there with me, because you see, I have to get up and put my britches on just like you do every morning. And And I understand because I have my own